Welcome to this EzyFox server. Today I'll be showing you how to handle login event and how to connect the EzyFox server to a database. And in the previous video, I have shown you how to create the template projects from the given map and archetype. So this is the projects we have already created. And in today's video, I'm gonna reuse these projects. Okay, from the last video, we have successfully run the server. Okay, the EzyFox server is ready. However, you can see here there is a warning from the log4j. So I'm gonna fix this first. So to fix this, you need to specify this package for the log4j. This one. So it will be log4j category dot com dot junkmonkeys info console. Alright, and then I'm going to rerun the server. Okay, you can see the warning disappears, and we are now ready to use the app and the plugin in our server. Okay, so before showing you how the EzyFox server handles the login event, I would like to show you the scope of the EzyFox server. So in this platform, we have the most general one is the EzyFox server, and each EzyFox server can contain multiple zones. For example, zone A and zone B, and each zone can contain multiple applications or games. For example, app A, app B, and zone B contain the app Y, and each zone also contain multiple plugins. And a plugin is responsible for, a common function in a zone, which can be used across many apps within that zone. For example, the login function is used for all users within a zone. And of course, an app can contain multiple game room or chat room. For example, room 1 and room 2 here. Right, now let's go back to the source code. So we know that the login event is handled in the plugin source code. So we now open the chat tutorial plugin module, jump into the com.junkmonkeys.plugin.controller, and open the user login controller class. Okay, here is what the user login controller looks like, and this controller is listening to the event user login. And if the client send a login request to the server, so it will jump into this function, the handle function here. I'll show you how it works in a second. But before that, so how do we know what is the format of a login request? So you can see here, we are listening to the user login server. So let's go to the declaration of the user login. We know that it is the user login string constant, but actually we want the ID of this command. So let's go to the declaration of this package. All right, there is a class called EzyCommand here. And now we can see that the login command has the ID of 20. So, okay, that's enough for us to test the login event. Okay, first I'll run the server, but this time I'll debug it. And I set a breakpoint inside the handle function of the user login controller class. Then click on the debug button. Okay, the EzyFox server is running as normal. And now to test the socket request, I'll use one socket client called socket range. And then I type in this one. That is the URL that connect to the EasyFox socket server. So it is ws localhost with the port 2208 and /ws. Okay, let's click on the connect now. Alright, the client is connected with the EasyFox server, and our request has the following format. The first one is the command ID, and then the data. The data is an array with the first element is the zone name, and then the username, and then the password, and then the data. Okay, alright, so we already know that the command ID of the login command is 20, and so you can find the zone name in the setting, in the log of the settings. So you can look for the zone here and then scroll down to the names here. So we have a zone called chat tutorial. So I'll pass in the chat tutorial, and then user name is test, for example, and then password is test1234, and then the data now is empty. Okay, so you can see here, if the client didn't send any request for a certain amount of time, the socket connection automatically closed. So I'll copy this request and then add a new connection and then send it to the server. Alright, you can see the code jump into this function when I send a login request from the socket client. Okay, so basically the EasyFox server automatically handle the login event for us. That is really useful.